পৃষ্ঠা 230 continued. Splitting of sentences. Split the following sentences into two simple sentences. Question 26. Like a huge python winding round and round the rugged trunk, a creeper climbs, in whose embraces bound no other tree could live. Answer. A creeper climbs, winding round and round the rugged trunk like a huge python. No other tree could live in its embrace. Question 27. The giant wears the scarf and flowers are hung in crimson clusters all the boughs among. Answer. The giant wears the scarf. The flowers are hung in crimson clusters among the boughs. Question 28. At nights, the garden overflows with one sweet song that seems to have no close. Answer. At nights, the garden overflows. One sweet song seems to have no close. Question 29. Sung darkling from our tree while men repose. Answer. A song is sung darkling from our tree. Men repose at that time. Question 30. When first my casement is wide open thrown at dawn, my eyes delighted on it rest. Answer. My casement is wide open at dawn, my eyes rest on it with delight. Question 31. A grey baboon sits statue-like, alone watching the sunrise. Answer. A grey baboon sits statue-like alone. It watches the sunrise. Question 32. His puny offspring leap about and play, semicolon, and far and near kokilas hail the day. Answer. His puny offspring leap about and play. Far and near kokilas hail the day. Question 33. And to their pastures wend our sleepy cows. Answer. Our cows are sleepy, they went to their pastures. Question 34. But not because of its magnificence dear is the casuarina to my soul. Answer. The casuarina is dear to my soul. It is not because of its magnificence. Question 35. What is that dirge-like murmur that I hear like the sea breaking on a single beach? Answer. What is that dirge-like murmur that I hear? It sounds like the sea breaking on a single beach, on a shingle beach. আবার পড়ছি. Question 35. What is that dirge-like murmur that I hear like the sea breaking on a shingle beach? Answer. What is that dirge-like murmur that I hear? It sounds like the sea breaking on a shingle beach. Question 36. It is the tree's lament, an eerie speech that haply to the unknown land may reach. Answer. It is the tree's lament. It is an eerie speech that haply may reach the unknown land. পৃষ্ঠা 231. Question 37. Ah, I have heard that wail, far, far away in distant lands, by many a sheltered bay. Answer. I have heard that wail. It was far away in distant lands by many a sheltered bay. Question 38. I saw thee, in my own loved native clime. Answer. I saw thee. It was in my own loved native clime. Question 39. Therefore I fain would consecrate a lay unto thy honour. Answer. I fain would consecrate a lay. It is unto thy honour. Question 40. Mayst thou be numbered when my days are done with deathless trees? Answer. Mayst thou be numbered with deathless trees. It is when my days are done. Change of narration. Change the mode of narration. Question 41. Quote. The giant wears the scarf and flowers are hung in crimson clusters all the boughs among, unquote, said the speaker. Answer. The speaker said that the giant wore the scarf and flowers were hung in crimson clusters all the boughs among. Question 42. Quote, sung darkling from our tree while men repose, unquote. The speaker remarked. Answer. The speaker remarked that a song was sung darkling from their tree while men reposed. Question 43. Quote, a grey baboon sits statue-like alone, watching the sunrise, unquote, said the poet. Answer. The poet said that a grey baboon sat statue-like alone, watching the sunrise. Question 44. Quote, our sleepy cows went to their pastures, unquote, the poet remarked. Answer. The poet remarked that their sleepy cows wended to their pastures. Question 45. Quote, the tree shall be ever dear for your sakes, unquote, said the poet. Answer. The poet said that the tree would be ever dear for their sakes. Question 46. Quote, what is that dirge-like murmur that I hear, unquote, asked the poet. Answer. The poet asked what that dirge-like murmur was that she heard. Question 47. Quote, I have heard that wail far, far away, unquote, said the poet. Answer. The poet said that she had heard that wail far, far away. Question 48. Quote, I saw thee in my own loved native clime, unquote, the poet remarked. Answer. The poet remarked that she had seen thee in its own loved native clime. পৃষ্ঠা 232. Question 49. Question 49. Quote, I fain would consecrate a lay unto thy honour, unquote. Quote, I fain would consecrate a lay unto thy honour, unquote, said the poet. Answer. The poet said that she wished to consecrate a lay unto thy honour. Question 50. Quote, mayst thou be numbered when my days are done with deathless trees, unquote, prayed the poet. Answer. The poet prayed that it might be numbered with deathless trees when her days were done. Question 51. The poet said that the giant wore the scarf gallantly. Answer. The poet said, comma, quote, the giant wears the scarf gallantly, unquote, full stop. Question 52. The poet said that sometimes, and most in winter, a grey baboon sat statue-like alone on its crest. Answer. The poet said, comma, quote, sometimes, comma, and most in winter, comma, a grey baboon sits statue-like alone on its crest, unquote, full stop. Question 53. The poet said that deer was the casuarina to her soul, but not because of its magnificence. Answer, quote. Answer. The poet said, quote, deer is the casuarina to my soul, but not because of its magnificence, unquote. Question 54. The poet said that she had heard that wail far, far away in distant lands by many a sheltered bay. Answer. The poet said, comma, quote, I have heard that wail far, far away in distant lands by many a sheltered bay, unquote. Question 55. The poet said that she would consecrate a lay unto the tree's honor. Answer. The poet said, comma, quote, I would consecrate a lay unto the tree's honor, unquote. Correction of errors. Correct the errors in the following sentences by choosing the right option. Question 56. The giant where the scarf and flowers is hung in crimson clusters all the boughs among. Answer. The giant wears the scarf and flowers are hung in crimson clusters all the boughs among. Question 57. Sung darkling on our tree while men repose. Answer. Sung darkling from our tree while men repose. Question 58. Where on all day was gathered bird and bee. Answer. Whereon all day are gathered bird and bee. Question 59. A grey baboon sit statue-like alone watching the sunrise. Answer. A grey baboon sits statue-like alone watching the sunrise. Question 60. And on their pastures went our sleepy cows. Answer. And to their pastures went our sleepy cows. Question 61. And by and far Kokilas hails the day. Answer. And far and near Kokilas hail the day. পৃষ্ঠা 233. Question 62. The water lilies springs like snow enmassed. Answer. The water lilies spring like snow enmassed. Question 63. But not because of its magnificence, dear are the casuarina for my soul. Answer. But not because of its magnificence is the casuarina dear to my soul. Question 64. Beneath it we have been played, semicolon, though years may roll. Answer. Beneath it we have played, semicolon, though years may roll. Question 65. What are that dirge like murmur that I hear like the sea breaking on a shingle beach? Answer. What is that dirge like murmur that I hear like the sea breaking on a shingle beach? Question 66. It is the tree's lament, a eerie speech that haply on the unknown land may reach. Answer. It is the tree's lament, an eerie speech that haply to the unknown land may reach. Question 67. Ah, I have been heard that wail far, far away in distant lands by many a sheltered bay. Answer. Ah, I have heard that wail far, far away in distant lands by many a sheltered bay. Question 68. The waves gently was kissed the classic shore of France or Italy beneath the moon. Answer. The waves gently kissed the classic shore of France or Italy beneath the moon. Question 69. I saw thee on my own loving native clime. Answer. I saw thee in my own loved native clime. Question 70. Mayst thou is numbered when my days are done with deathless trees. Answer. Mayst thou be numbered when my days are done with deathless trees. Question 71. May love defend thee from oblivion cures. Answer. May love defend thee from oblivion's curse.